I'm in London, kicking off a new journey to December's UN Climate Change Conference in Durban, South Africa. For the next few months, Aisha Durgahi and Nick Glass will join CNN correspondents in different countries to see how harmful emissions are being reduced. This month, we take you through cities of the United Kingdom. Aisha will show us how a Formula One team could help clear up the crowded London skies. Nick will visit the greenest new museum in a city known for the Beatles. And I'll take you to Leicester to look at greenhouse gas emissions from space. I'm Monita Rajpal, and this is the Road to Durban, a green city journey. The 17th United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change will bring together global leaders to talk about issues like cities. More than half of the world's population lives in cities, and those cities contribute 70 to 80% of the world's global greenhouse gases. Now, these gases, like carbon dioxide and methane, contribute to drought, flooding and rising sea levels, which in turn affect people all over the world. But policies are starting to change. As we travel to different countries on our way to Durban, we'll see some of those changes, including ideas contributed online by viewers from around the world. Now, to start our journey, I'm making my way from London, where I live and work, to the city of Leicester, about 160 kilometers north. That's where I'm meeting Paul Monks, a professor of atmospheric chemistry at the University of Leicester. He monitors satellite images of greenhouse gases from 450 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This image shows the sheer number of satellites in orbit, satellites used for communications, navigation, weather, and most importantly for Paul, the Envisat, which feeds live data from our atmosphere.
This satellite really heralded a new era, being able to measure atmospheric composition, pollutants right down near the surface. So this has a number of instruments on it which enable us to do that. It passes over the UK, typically everywhere in the Earth, about once a day, or actually twice a day, once in the daylight and once at night as well.
The satellite measures color signatures of atmospheric elements, which are then plotted on maps like this one. The red areas, like those over northwest Europe and China, are clearly visible as the pollution hotspots.
What we're looking at here now is animation of satellite data of air pollution, this carbon monoxide, which also comes out of the back of the cars. And what you can see is the air pollution whisking around the world. I think what this satellite imagery movie gives you the impression of is the way that air masses actually move in the atmosphere.
Well, it indicates that it's not one country's problem, it's a global problem.
Yeah, and I think this is interesting, as on the road to Durban, realising that air quality is part of the climate change solution is an important step, and realising that we really got to be treating air pollution really from the local to the global.
To help track pollution at the local level, the University of Leicester is working on the next generation of emission measuring satellites.
That's the hardware that we're going to be testing out so that in a few years' time we can take these satellite instruments that are only a few kilograms and launch them into space, and then from 800 kilometers away we can produce maps of London, any major city.
Ever more detailed maps like these of Leicester showing nitrogen dioxide levels are the future, all in an effort to better track and minimize impact of greenhouse gases worldwide. Later in the show, we'll get a closer look at Paul's maps that show the carbon dioxide emitted in cities on our journey. I'm back in London in Regent's Park, part of 10,000 acres of green space throughout the city. Carbon dioxide absorbing plants and parks like these help offset emissions from circling airplanes. As one of our eye reporters from the London neighbourhood of Camden shows us, these parks also help surrounding communities.
Hi, I'm Chris. I work with BTCV in London. BTCV is the British Trust for Conservation Volunteers.
You're doing work like Chris. We want to hear from you. Go to cnn.com/Road to Durban to see how you can share your ideas on iReport, Facebook or Twitter. You could be part of our next show. As we continue our journey, we catch up with Nick Glass as he travels to the city made famous by the Beatles. We are in the UK on our way to the UN Climate Change Conference in Durban, South Africa, highlighting ideas on how to reduce harmful emissions along the way. We take you to the eastern part of England next, where an iReporter shows us how he and his wife have made their bed and breakfast completely carbon neutral.
I'm Peter Downs. I'm the co-owner of Itteringham Mill with my wife Liz. We moved here about 7 years ago.
You can share your ideas with us as well. Just go to cnn.com/road to Durban. The largest source of carbon emissions here in the UK is power generation. Nick Glass begins his journey in the city of Liverpool, where a museum has a power solution.
So how green is the great port city of Liverpool? Well, to be honest, not very. According to the statistics of the major UK cities, this is the worst place after Belfast for carbon emissions per capita.
We are on a journey to find out how cities are minimizing their carbon footprint as we travel to Durban, South Africa for the UN Climate Change Conference. We pick up with Nick Glass in Liverpool as he makes his way from the historic waterfront to the port that made the city famous. Earlier, when I was in Leicester, we looked at maps showing carbon emissions of the world. Now I want to take a closer look at the carbon footprint of some of the cities in the UK that we've been to. Now, you see behind me here the city of London. Now take a look at it from the vantage point of a satellite. This is a map of carbon dioxide, which accounts for more than half of the world's greenhouse gases. London is responsible for about 56,000 tonnes of carbon per year, which translates to 6.3 tonnes of carbon per person. Well, Germany is where the road to Durban is headed next. We are looking for your ideas as well. Here's an iReport from a contributor in Germany. So if you have an idea, share it with us. Go to our website at cnn.com/road to Durban, where you can send us an iReport and even check out our Twitter and Facebook pages. I'm Monita Rajpal. Thank you for watching.